On any day of the week, you can bet that East Sacramento's newest restaurant, One Speed's business, will be zooming along at a pace that even Lance Armstrong might be jealous of. Owner and chef Rick Mahan says the eatery is a showcase of his love affair of both bikes and pizza, which is evident in almost every pie that he works on here. A distinctly Italian-themed menu is in place, which depends almost entirely on one ingredient to keep people coming back for more.
Right after the pizza crust itself, tomatoes are right there next in line. And I'm just a big tomato guy. It's a good thing I'm living in Sacramento, right?
Indeed, California is a great place to enjoy tomatoes, whether they be fresh, heirloom, or processed. In fact, processing tomatoes are so big here in California that no matter what state you live in, when you add ketchup to a burger or mix in some tomato sauce to your meatball sandwich or slice up that pizza, you could be 99% sure that it came from California. And that's because 99% of processed tomato products consumed in the entire United States come from tomatoes grown right here in California. You see, before they can make it into Rick's Pizzas, the life of a processing tomato starts here at farms like Bruce Rominger's in Yolo County. A 5-generation family business, today Bruce has more than 600 acres devoted to both conventional and organic processing tomatoes.
Well, these tomatoes were transplanted in early April of this year. We buy little transplants from a greenhouse. We select certain varieties that are suited to the cannery, that they want for the product they're making. We plant them at a certain date here to match the maturity to when the cannery wants us to harvest them. Now, these harvesters just pick one time through. They pull the whole vine out of the ground, they shake the tomatoes off gently, separate them from the vines, any dirt or anything like that. We have some sorters to take out any broken tomatoes or any dirt, they're green tomatoes. Load them right in the trailer and they're off to the cannery immediately. So these tomatoes, within just several hours of when we pick them, they're in the cannery being processed. All right, this variety tomato is a Heinz variety. It's called 9663. And all the varieties we grow are bred to ripen all at the same time. You see that there's probably 98% of these tomatoes are dead ripe at the same time. And so that makes a nice one-pass mechanical harvest possible. And they're a similar shape and type as what a lot of people call a Roma tomato that you do see in a grocery store. This is what we like to send to the cannery.
And although they may not be the most glamorous of crops, processing tomatoes are one of the most important ones here in Yolo County and across the state too. California supplies the nation with a wide variety of tomato-based products, many of which are processed here at Pacific Coast producers in Woodland, where timing is of the essence.
As far as the loads that come into this plant, we'll have from the time it's harvested and the time it's in a can will be anywhere from 4 to 6 hours. All of our tomatoes are within a 16-mile radius. That's why this plant has been put in this position here.
It's like a well-oiled machine here as tomatoes are systematically taken through a maze of being washed, sorted, sliced, diced, pureed, and canned into some of our favorite tomato-based products. More than 500,000 tons of them are taken through here every year. But interestingly, the amount of tomatoes used for processing depends on the final product. For example, it takes about 6 pounds of the produce to make 1 pound of paste. Americans eat about twice the amount of processed tomatoes than any other country. Consumption continues to be strong thanks to their taste, versatility, and numerous positive health reports. Unlike other fruits and vegetables, when they're cooked, they tend to lose some of their nutrition. Tomatoes are the opposite, which has researchers at places like UC Davis studying up on the popular produce item.
The great thing about tomatoes is that they're loaded with vitamins like vitamin A, vitamin C, and they're also full of these compounds called carotenoids. Most people heard of lycopene, and that lycopene has gotten lots of attention because of prostate cancer and also in vitamin A. But some of the research studies now are looking at it differently, say, hey, lycopene's great, but there's much more to it now. For this part of our study, we were just trying to test how your arteries would change over time using this ultrasound before and after treatment with tomatoes over 6 weeks.
So whether you eat tomatoes for your health or just for fun, folks like Bruce are hoping you eat them for a bigger reason, as a way to support your local farming community, which in turn supports you.
Well, I tell people it's really the essential industry that we have in this country, or in the entire planet, really. It's the basic thing that we all need to survive, and you can't take it for granted. You can't just look at the grocery store. You have to have open fields, farmers, farm workers to make it all happen, to feed all of us. So it's really essential. Everybody else couldn't do the jobs they're doing if they didn't have somebody else providing their food for them every day.